Dude. Well, all right,
Whatever.
guys. So, this is the first Value Bomb Wednesday. So, super excited to have my boy Kyle Thompson. He's been crushing it in the wholesaling scene.
Sim.
I'm just gonna let him take it away and just kind of go over his experience and what's been
É
working with him so far.
simples.
So, why don't you just talk a
Relationship.
little bit more about yourself,
É,
Kyle, and what you've been up to?
Sweet. Yeah, man. So, I recently got into real estate about only a year ago, around January of last year in 2023. And was just super interested in wholesaling and fix and flipping. And then when I realized the capital you needed for fix and flip or, experience or partners or whatever you needed, is when I really started going down the path to want to jump more into wholesaling and learn more about that. Um, and from there, I just decided to, crush the Florida market and Central Florida market specifically. I'm located in Orlando. It's a great market. Um, and then from there, I started doing some stuff direct to seller, going direct to seller, text blasting, cold calling, that type of stuff. I would go super like niche list. I do like, government list and I'll drop a YouTube link and stuff on someone who's really knowledgeable about government lists because there's some good money in there. But what government lists are just like your code violations, probates, which are personally the best deals, probates, and then you've got like fire damage, water shutoff list, you have liens, you have pre-foreclosures, and just a whole ton of valuable like tax liens and stuff like that. Just people that are motivated and just need help, selling their property or would be even interested in selling because the whole thing about wholesaling is you need to find someone who's motivated to sell or just wants to sell or the best case scenario is someone that really needs to sell and not just wants to sell but they need to sell and they have that that drive to just close quick for a discount. So
What
um
what would you say real quick, when it comes to like a motivated seller, like what should you be like looking for? Like what are the type of situations they're in to where they're willing to like sell their property because they just really need the cash or whatever it is?
yeah, so one of my older mentors told me there's 4 Ds. It's debt, death, destruction, and diapers. So there's so many different, right? So there's a lot of different things, right? So there might be a death in the family that goes hand in hand with probate, or it might be a death and they need to pay for a funeral. Maybe they have an investment property they want to sell. Maybe they had a new baby and they need to upgrade their house and their current house is just not in good shape and they need to sell it quick for cash just to get into their new house. Or maybe they're just in financial trouble. They lost their job, or maybe they were disabled or in a bad accident. And, we're not trying to prey on people. We're just trying to find those people because it's just part of the marketplace. It's part of like supply and demand. There needs to be something that's done for it. There's people that always are going to need help. It's just the way the world works. So that I would define motivation as just someone that's in financial distress or, some type of life distress that they need help selling.
Got it. Cool, cool.
So, yeah, from there, I didn't really like the direct to seller. A lot of emotion involved with it. Um, a lot of people just were tire kickers and stuff. So I kind of shifted my focus more working with agents. So after not doing any deals direct to seller for 90 days, I decided to kind of change up my marketing strategy. So I started just going after properties that were just listed on the MLS and just what the MLS is just like the open market. So like people that listed on with an agent on like Zillow and all those marketing websites. So from there, after 2 weeks, I got my first deal under contract just from MLS. It was actually a 55 plus home, and I caught it right on the price reduction. And the seller, actually, his wife got hit by a car and passed
Ooh.
away, and the guy ran out of money and couldn't finish renovating their retirement home. So it was in a hot area in the Villages in Florida, which is like the number one retirement place in the United States. So there was some good activity there, and I caught it on a really good discount. He already put a new roof on, new AC, and already did a lot of the interior work as well, but hadn't done like floors or renovated the bathrooms or anything. So They thought it needed more work than it did, and they discounted it a little too much. But as an investor, that's just opportunity for me. So I knew that I still got $10,000 more off what they originally listed it at in price reduction because he was just really motivated. And then from there, I found a buyer within 3 or 4 days. I had it under contract for 190, and I found a buyer for 205. And then I asked for another price reduction for 10,000. They gave me 5,000, so it ended up being a $20,000 assignment fee. Uh,
Nice. Just for picking up the phone, right? That's
yeah, so just
crazy.
for picking up the phone, I actually never went to go see the property. I actually told someone to go take photos for me and everything. And obviously, there's also people that there's also photos on MLS too, so you can just utilize those and utilize the listing because a lot of people will tell you like, oh well, you can't wholesale deals on MLS because it's on the open market and buyers you know buyers are going to get upset, blah blah blah, or you're too close, you're marketing it too close to list price. They can just pick it up off the MLS. Well, I have the deal under contract and I have the opportunity, so if you're a good buyer, you don't give a shit if it's on the MLS or not. Like I'm handing you an opportunity because I'm the one that negotiated it. So it's either you do it or I sell it to someone else. So that's just what I tell the buyers. It's like when I know I have a good deal. So for quickly, just to kind of backtrack a little bit, those of you that don't know what wholesaling is just signing a purchase and sale agreement with a seller and assigning your rights to that contract for a fee. So it's very simple. You're just flipping paper. You're really just flipping paper. You can do it all virtual. I like to kind of crush it in person. I think nowadays it works better. I think everyone's trying to do it virtual, but you can still crush it doing it virtual and everything like that. But I like it. I like doing it in person. I like going out and go on appointments and stuff. It's fun for me. Um, but yeah, so that was my first deal. That was back actually. It closed not even a year ago, my first deal, and from there I just really took off running because it just kind of gave me a high, and I was just like, you know what, dude, like I did that after 2 weeks of switching my marketing strategy, and then I made it my niche, and I got two more deals within the next month, and then
Damn. How much you get off of those two deals?
so I made 5 grand and 7 grand off those. So within like 45 days, I had made like over 30 grand, and to
That's
me, I mean,
crazy.
and this was during having a 9 to 5 and stuff. Although my 9 to 5 was super, super chill and everything like that. It was a small company. I was still doing it while working and everything like that. Um, and then from there, I tapped into another strategy of working with agents. It's called pocket listings. So it's basically agents that will pick up listing agreements and they won't put it on the open market. So it looks like an off-market deal, which they are more attractive to end buyers. But they it was my best strategy. So from there, I what I was doing was I was text blasting realtors and asking them for opportunities for off-market opportunities, and I really hit the ground running there. I did about 10 deals in like 8 months off of that, or like 7 months off of that. And they were great deals. They were all great deals. They were all off market. Everything looked off market to buyers. No one knew agents were involved. And uh, it was a great strategy because it's repeat business. So, one thing about working direct to a seller is unless they own multiple properties, which most people don't, like it's very transactional. Like you do one deal and you're done, right? Because, they might own another property 5 years, 10 years down the line, and they might fuck up that house. They might get distressed, or they might get in another situation where they need to sell it quick for cash. But like normally, it's one deal and you're done with that seller, right? The one thing I
Gotcha.
like
So you're
about
just like
agents,
back on the hamster wheel.
yeah. So the one thing I liked about agents is I might do a deal with an agent. They get. So another thing is I offer them full 6% commission, right? So normally you have the seller side, the listing agent side, and the buyer's agent side. So what I did was I was like, hey, like just double side the commission, and they just want to work with you, and they have a monetary incentive to just want to work with you. So um, that's what I did there, and I started offering that 6%, and damn, I mean, dude, it just made a world of a difference. And I did that on the MLS too, but they had more options when they're on the MLS, right? Because it's an open market. So when I was reaching out to them directly, and I was providing a solution that I was going to give them as soon as they get that listing agreement, I was going to give them an offer, whether they take the offer or not, want to put it on the MLS. I said, I'm going to get you an offer. So you literally have an offer first day you have that listing agreement. So it's repeat business. So, let's say I do a deal with an agent, they're marketing for me, right? So they're marketing for me now. So they're now going to find those motivated sellers and targeting those motivated sellers because they know I'm going to give them that 6% commission and give them
Hmm.
flows 21 days, 30 days, whatever it might be, sometimes 15 days. So that was one niche I really, really fell into with doing houses. So that was like the main sauce I fell into for the last 10 months or so. And then from there I was like, all right, man, and I actually did my first flip in between there too. With my mentor here, I figured out a way and came to an agreement with him on how to do a flip with him. And this is the one thing about networking and talking with people and leveraging help is you'll find opportunity that you don't think you had in the past where maybe you could have flipped a deal in the past or you couldn't flip a deal in the past and now you can because you have resources. So connecting with people and networking is like the number one thing is just to go to local events, comment on people's Facebook, message people, and stuff like that. You never know who you're going to end up talking to. So I did my first flip in between there. It was a great deal. I made about 25 grand on my cut for that flip. And yeah, my mentor raised all the money. He brought the hard money lender and everything. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And I learned a good process on how fix and flips work and everything. And then from there, I was like, okay, well, how do I do more flips? And then the way I learned how to do more flips was I learned about credit stacking. And that's when I started to learn about all the credit cards, all the different banks and stuff like that and then on what data points to do and everything like that. And then I started just stacking. Within 30 days, I stacked around 150 grand, and then that's when I started to get into some flips in Indy, like Miguel's doing as well. And we have some projects there right now. And so I really leveraged the 0% interest credit cards to basically get a 0% loan and do some more partnerships on flips and get into more flips. And um, props to Devin. He does a lot of the boots on the ground work, and I'm just very passive investing. So that's one thing you want to do is not do too many things at once. Because if I had to do a lot of stuff for these flips, I probably wouldn't do it because when you focus on too many things at once, you start to kind of burn yourself out. You kind of like you're not super productive. One thing that you can't get really good at one thing if you're doing too many things at once. So a lot of people's mistake when they jump into wholesaling, they might try houses, they might try land, they might try uh, talking to agents and doing direct to seller. Like you pick one niche, you ride with it, and then when you scale, you can kind of do multiple things like multiple marketing strategies. But when you're first starting out, you want to do one marketing strategy because um, you don't have a team behind you, so it's just you. So you need to focus on doing one thing. And that's what I did was I focused on one thing and I crushed it in that. And then I found a way to, make some more passive income by stacking credit. And, because I learned during my first flip that I don't want to be a flipper. Like I don't want to be the boots on the ground guy. I don't want to be the guy going to the houses running contractors and doing all that. That's just not my game. But I still wanted to get into those deals, but I wanted to figure out a way on how to do it without taking too much of my time. And that's what credit stacking was able to do for me.
Well, it also sounds too like with the wholesaling, it's definitely a hustle, and so it's like fix and flips. But like, dude, some of these deals you're making, like 10, 25, 30, whatever, like, dude, like that's how much some of these flips go for. That you make like I don't know, like a good like an all right flip. If you're making 30K profit after that, like that's solid. And like for you don't even have to do anything on
So
on that. You're literally
think about how much more scalable wholesaling is because I'm closing these deals in 30 days or less. Like my biggest deal was a 40 grand assignment and it closed in 25 days.
that's
So
crazy.
you have to think about it, right? So you have to think about your time, energy, and money. So yeah, you might be putting some money into marketing costs, but um, for the deals are paying for themselves, or you can use credit stacking and use that for marketing money. But my best piece of advice is to learn the game first and then put, the systems and processes in place with, credit stacking and money because um, I did when I first started, I leveraged. about $4,000 for marketing money, but I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So that $4,000 just like went down the drain super quickly. So that's one thing is don't jump like when you get these approvals for these cards, don't jump the gun too quick. Kind of like or before you even get the approval, so you don't want your timelines to start, make sure you have a really solid game plan before going into it. Make sure you have some sort of vehicle to make some money or to have an idea on how to make some money or make some deals happen with wholesaling. Um, that's one piece of advice because I burned through that 4K quick and then I really didn't make anything useful out of it. I mean, I learned a lot because I fucked up a lot, but that's one big piece of advice is to really dial in your vehicle before wanting to implement that money anywhere.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like also too, like just getting crazy. It's like if you have like 100K, you're just gonna find something to throw it into and like not, I don't know, you might not vet it or there's just like more room to make mistakes. Like realistically, to start a business, you don't need that much. So just like go with like the bare minimum that you need because like the important thing here is like, especially if you're starting off, I feel like the credit is kind of like the keys to get your foot in the door to get some opportunity going. But if you just like immediately what you did, just let me do 4K, don't really know what I do, but like instead, like let me invest 1K, see if this works. If it works, all right, I'm just gonna put more and more money. But like I feel like the funding, whether it's successful or not, gets your foot in the door, and you don't. If it's not successful, you don't want to be like 100K down the drain to
Yeah,
learn that
yeah,
expensive lesson. It's like you could have like
yeah,
learned that lesson with only like 5K or something like that, right? So I
yeah.
totally agree with that. Like, got to be smart with it and have those like contingency plans and backup plans in place.
100%. Like, for example, my money right now is it's tied with the security of real estate, right? So the money I have invested with credit stacking, it's secured by another piece of real estate. So I know that my money is secured by an asset, and that's something that not a lot of people have. Like, if you dump it in the marketing, and you don't know what you're doing, like that money's going into the ethers. So. Um, Yeah, so my best piece of advice is either spend a little bit and find something that works, or learn the game first and learn like you can learn the credit and maximize like your personal scores and your personal side, and then you crush wholesaling or you crush like the education, you crush the action taking. You do a deal and you're like, yo, dude, if I had more money to market, I could do 4 deals a month. I'm making 10K a deal, 20K a deal, bro. You're making like 50K, 100K a month now because you're
Yeah.
able to put down on your marketing costs. So if you can crush the education, crush the action taken, you're like, yo, if I have more money to put into this, then I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna crush my local market. I'm gonna crush like um these other wholesalers, these other fix and flippers on marketing because I have more money now to play with. So that's one big thing I would do. But that's more texting, cold calling, hiring VAs, more lists, more skip tracing, whatever it might be, mailing, whatever it is that you can use as a vehicle once you like start crushing the education, crushing the action taking. Because um, yeah, that's what I did at first is I took big action, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I dumped that 4K into the ethers. So not a big deal, 4K, it's whatever. I made that back on my first deal, but definitely a big piece of advice there for stacking. Um, so I guess that kind of moves into where I am today. So I kind of stopped wholesaling houses. I kind of got sick of driving around all the time and everything like that. And I still like doing it. I still like going to the houses and stuff, but for some reason it wasn't like my super local market that a lot of my leads and deals were coming from. It was like an hour and a half away. So I was going to these appointments all the time, and I just kind of was like, dude, is this it? Like, am I just gonna keep doing this for a long time? Like, what are the systems I could put in place? And then I kind of was like weighing out the pros and cons. So then I found out about wholesaling land back in like December, January of this year. Um, and I started learning about that, and I learned how easy that was, and I learned how easy it is to work with those sellers and work with people and work with builders and stuff that want to buy these vacant lots. And from there I started wholesaling vacant lots, and I actually just locked up one yesterday, and I should make a 25 grand assignment next month just off a piece of land. I called
Damn.
I called a seller that was in probate in March, and they were like, "Hey, yeah, I'll sell it to you after I'm done with probate." We had already agreed to a price, and once probate was done, and you can go under contract with people that are going through probate too, and just make it contingent on probate approvals. But they didn't want to do that, so I waited. And then I called them back a couple weeks ago, and they're like, "Yeah, we're ready." And the attorney just wanted to review the contract. I even put that it was assignable in it. The attorney had no problem with it. Uh, right when the seller signed, I pitched it to the builder. The builder was like, "Yeah, I want it." And then I signed, and then I sold it to them same day. So within 5 minutes, I had it under contract and to a buyer the same day within five
Jeez,
minutes. So
25K from
uh,
like just like a couple like phone calls. That's crazy, dude.
never went to go see this lot, never did anything to like, never had to hire someone to go see the lot, like nothing. Didn't have to tell the buyer anything. They do their own due diligence, like that's it. So
Hmm.
I was like, dude, land is great. Like land is crazy because it's such an illiquid asset because people don't know what to do with it. Like people have no idea what to do with it. They think it's just a lot, especially people that are out of state. Like they don't know their local market. Like the where I sold this lot, it's super hot. Like there's so many people building new houses and everything like that. So um people don't know that. So the best thing you can do for land is target out of state owners because maybe they bought a lot in Florida in a hot market and they planned on building down here one day 25 years ago they bought this lot and now they're like, "You know what? I'm old now. I don't plan on going there. I don't know how to build. I don't know who to hire for a builder and it's just a piece of land. It's a piece of dirt. Like I don't know what to do with it." And then those are the best deals. Like I have um three more lots in probate, um three more lots that are in probate that should be approved in July that I already assigned to a buyer for a $60,000 assignment. And that closes in July. And
Damn,
this is on land. So
that's
uh,
crazy.
and then when I realized how easy land was, I was like, okay, shit, dude. So how can I make this happen, but with bigger deals? I'm like, because the stepping stone to wholesaling is just kind of getting your foot in the door with real estate and understanding like marketing and like the lingo and just how it all works. And you eventually just learn new strategies and new things like that, like creative finance and everything, which is like another topic maybe we can explore in another call. Um, and then I met some mentors that were doing bigger land in Texas. And this was only about, dude, like 2 months ago. And I decided to like completely stop doing infills, which is a terrible idea to like quit your job or like stop doing stuff that's working for you and making you money. But I was like so sold on what they were telling me that I jumped right into it and they saw that and they taught me a ton of things. And today, actually about 3 hours ago, I locked up a $3 million piece of land on seller
Dude,
finance on seller finance
what
with
the fuck?
That's nuts.
on seller finance with 0% loan. So the seller financed 85% of the deal. So he gave me an 85% 0% interest loan. No,
That's
no,
fucking,
no credit check, nothing. And
that's
then
next level.
Nuts.
Holy
my
shit.
mentors are taking me through the deal and they'll pay me probably like a $200,000 assignment fee just off that deal. So um yeah, so it's just like moving into bigger things and stuff and teaching me the game. And next week they're actually flying me out to Phoenix and um we're going to try to raise money together and everything like that. So, like I said, you never know who you're going to network with or connect with. So, yeah, man, that's pretty cool. I just wanted to share that
Yeah.
that happened a couple hours ago, and that
Dude,
was
congrats
with
on that.
2 months of 2 months of just being in that part of the game. It was 96 acres. So we're going to go through the entitlement process. What the entitlement process is basically you take a piece of like agricultural land or raw land and you work with the city and county to get it approved for like a subdivision or something like that. So we're looking to get around 360 lots on it, and then we're just going to sell it off to a developer. Um, so yeah, it's a cool deal, man.
Dude, that's so dope. Just like the wholesaling side, because it's just like you don't have to pick up a hammer, or do any of the
No,
labor. That like that's freaking sick, dude. And you said, is that basically the mentor you have right now, the one that you're actively working on this deal with?
Yeah, yeah. So there's two of them. One's super good with numbers and notes, and then one's super good on the real estate and like boots on the ground negotiation type of stuff style. So I found this one actually straight off the MLS, and it's super, especially anything over $1 million right now, with bigger land is super illiquid. Developers are running out of money and everything like that. So they're not going to spend the time to get these approvals with the county and city. So that's where we come in. And we bring that value to where we get it to a term called shovel ready, where they can come in and just start building the houses immediately. So we're basically just paying the engineering for paperwork and everything. And we're basically doing all the legwork for them. And actually, we're not even really doing it. We're hiring like a civil engineering firm to go ahead and do that for us. So we just negotiate the deal and write checks. That's all we do. And then we have a sales team that markets the deals to developers and everything like that, saying, hey, like, um, come December, we're going to be approved to have 360 houses here on these 96 acres. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool game. They're risky deals, but obviously the payouts are much higher. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with bigger pieces of land. You can do stuff like with bigger pieces. So you can, let's say you take 100 acres and let's say you get it under contract for 5,000 an acre, so that's $500,000. But you know you can sell a 10-acre lot in the area for $10,000. So you know you have a price discrepancy there. And let's say you get like a 9-month closing with the seller. So in Texas, you don't need city or county approval to split. You don't need county or city approval to split a piece of land into 10 acres or more. So if it's 10 acres or more, you don't need any approvals. So if you get 9 months to do this, all you need to do is survey out the lots, hire a surveyor to cut up that piece of land for you with a survey. And then that whole time with the 9 months, and the surveys might be like $10,000. The whole time, the 9 months, you're marketing each individual 10-acre lots. So 10 acre lots you're marketing at $100,000 to these retail buyers that want to buy a 10-acre lot, and then by the time 9 months comes, you have a purchase and sale agreement or a letter of intent for to sell every single one of those 10-acre lots. So you're no money out of pocket other than the surveys, 10 grand, and now you just made a 500 grand profit on that deal because you literally leveraged time and that person's property because it's a liquid. They didn't know what to do with it. They're not going to do what we're doing. So um, that's what I'm doing right now.
Dude, bravo, dude. Good shit, man. Yeah, because like the last time we connected, you were still doing like the residential stuff, and I imagine, yeah, that could kind of like feel like a rat race, especially since it's like a one-time sell and buy. So that's dope, dude. And it sounds like, what would you say like the two? Because you said kind of like the credit was what helped get your start, and then the second big thing that I kind of realized was just like you said, like not you'll never know who you're gonna meet, and just finding like the right network and like the mentor, right? Would you say that's like the biggest thing that's kind of like gotten you from where you started to where you're at right now?
Yeah, the biggest thing is just to take in as much information as you can without like deviating too much from what you're doing. So be a student of the game always, but don't try to like deviate from what you're doing too quickly. Like I said, I had a ton of experience in the past of like negotiating and how to run numbers and everything like that. So that led me to being able to get this contract today. So and I still think people that have no background in real estate or no background in land or houses or anything in wholesaling in general could literally lock up a $5 million ranch tomorrow. It's just they're illiquid. It's a non-saturated game right now. And if you're leveraging creative finance, then you have a big advantage. And that's what I did there is I leveraged creative finance, and I'm actually working on another deal where um, I'm going to create a wrap mortgage. So what that is basically someone will hold the note on me in first position. So I'll hold a mortgage note. They're the bank on me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a second note, a second wrap mortgage note to another retail buyer at a higher interest rate. than what the seller is giving me, and I'm going to create cash flow just on dirt. So I'm going to create about $1,500 on cash flow a month just on dirt, and I'm going to create about $50,000 in down payments. So I'm going to get 50K in my pocket and 1,500 bucks a month just on dirt. And just
Damn.
by leveraging a price discrepancy and an interest rate discrepancy that the seller's offering me.
Damn. That there's so many like I didn't even think you could do like a monthly. I thought it was like once you sell it, you're basically like that's all the cash you're getting from it, but now you're getting something like monthly. That's sick.
Yeah, so that's something that I want to start doing with the next 12 months is while I'm doing this land is finding those little pocket deals. I call them that like little secret deals that people don't know how to unlock without the knowledge and create cash flow for myself over the next 12 months because I only need to do, a few more of those deals a year to make 10 grand a month, in cash flow just off dirt. And you have to think that it's not like cash flowing on a house and I used to want to own a bunch of houses and maybe like apartment complexes and stuff. But like, dude, you have to deal with toilets and tenants and like all
Damn.
this different stuff, right? And like, let's say you have to foreclose on someone and they get mad at you and they fuck up the house, then you're responsible for the repairs and stuff. And then, that's money out of pocket. But let's say I have to foreclose on someone on a piece of dirt. I don't have to account for any of that maintenance costs. I don't have to account for any repairs or anything like that. So my monthly cash flow is net to me.
Damn.
That's why I
That
gravitate towards land.
the wholesaling game sounds so, yeah, that sounds so appealing. Just like as far as like the comparables for like work and a flip, like, damn. I'm gonna still stay focused on what I'm doing though. I
Absolutely.
definitely don't want to get that shiny object syndrome, but like, like, dude, that just makes so much sense as far as like, I'm sure you're busting your ass off, but like compared to like, I know Devin is busting his ass off too, so that's like a different type of hard work, you know?
And nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong with either strategy or any strategy at all. Like you have to kind of pick your game and go after it. But um, I just knew there was more to like houses and fix and flip and stuff, and I just caught on to it quick. Like I said, I've only been in this for just over a year. So I don't recommend people to jump from one thing to another. I recommend you find something and you scale it and you do it. But I always knew I just have the personality trait that there's always something bigger. And now I kind of found my little niche, and this is what I'm going to stick with probably for the rest of my life is just big land. And that's just my niche. And it took me a little while to find it, and I, crushed it in other niches, but this was just the one that I picked and that I wanted to rock with.
Dude, hell yeah, man, you're crushing it. Um, we're about to wrap it up, but if anybody's got any questions, first off, dude, thanks for dropping off all that value, dude. I didn't even know like how much more you've kind of pivoted and kind of like grown in the wholesaling scene since we first connected. But if anybody's got any questions, we'll kind of open it up, and then we'll kind of end this off. Um,
Yeah, that's sick, man. So what part of Texas is the is it a ranch? Is it a piece of land? Like what
Yeah, it's a piece of land. This one was just like an agricultural exempt, like 15 minutes south of San Antonio. Um, and it was sitting on the market for a year. No one knew how to unlock it. It was sitting on the market for like 2.4 million. And then I found out he had another piece across the street that was off market. So I negotiated them both in there. No one wanted to pay his price. He was overpriced. And I said, hey, I'll pay your price, but you have to give me my terms. So that's exactly what I did. I said, I'll pay your price, but you got to give me your terms. Really old guy. The agents were super cool during the transaction, really helped me get the deal done. Some agents are absolutely horrendous and they don't know what they're doing and they blow up deals. But some agents will really help you in their favor because they know they're going to get paid at the end of the day. Um, so yeah, it was in South San Antonio.
nice.
awesome. Yeah, so I'm in Houston, so that's pretty sick. So and I guess how did you get in like contact with his mentors? Was it through like when you're wholesaling? Was it
Yeah, so when I started wholesaling infill lots, I joined this Facebook group on one of my buddies that he's making about 100 grand a month just off wholesaling like little infill lots like the one that I assigned yesterday. Um, and I connected with him because he was using the same title company as me, and he taught me some of the stuff. And then I knew the systems and stuff. I just needed to switch up the list and find new buyers for land. And then I saw these guys posting in the Facebook group about looking for bigger ranches, and they were paying out like big fees for finding them deals. And I actually booked a one-on-one call with them and paid like $1,000 to talk with them. And we chopped it up, and I just hit the ground running, and I just aggressively marketed and made offers. But I actually had a lot of prior knowledge, so it just came a little easy to me. But yeah, if you want to, anyone that wants to join the mastermind call, it's a paid mastermind. I got permission from them to invite anyone to the call next week for free. So if anyone wants to join that call, I can give you the access. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday.
Dude,
Yeah, I'd definitely be down for that. So that's sick, man.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
that's awesome. I guess like one question that I have is like for people who are doing like the fix and flips or just trying to find deals, like how would you go about finding, because that like you mentioned there's like Facebook groups, like how would you find your like the perfect wholesaler, or what are those different like resources? Like if I was like a fix and flipper and I don't have the time to go find those deals, like where would I find the person to find that for me?
Um, it's a good question because a lot of people just aren't truly doing as good as they say they are. And you could tell by the quality of the deals they lock up. If you see someone posting deals on Facebook, they're probably not a good wholesaler, and I might get a lot of shit for that, but I believe it's true because like the best way to find buyers is to just there's other ways to do it. And posting on Facebook, you're not really going to find good quality buyers. There are some out there. And I got nothing against it, go for it, but every deal I see, I don't think I've ever seen like a great deal posted on Facebook. So most of the wholesalers are, they kind of have like their few buyers already, and that's kind of who they rock with, because they did the work and they found them. And once they get a deal, sometimes they'll even before they even get it under contract, they'll say like, "Hey John, or hey Mr. Buyer, come walk this property with me, and let me know what you can do for it." And let's say that you can get it under contract for 130, and Mr. Buyer comes walks the property with you before you even have it under contract, because even your buyers, they want to be your best friends, bro, because you're finding them the deals. So
Hmm.
uh, there's cool ones out there. Like I made a really good friend by wholesaling a property to him. Actually, funny enough, he does like probably 60% fix and flip, 40% wholesale. He like cherry picks his deals. I wholesaled him a deal for free because that was his numbers. His numbers was like, dude, I can't pencil it in like past what you have it for. I was like, dude, I just want to build that relationship with you. You're a cool guy. I gave him the deal for free, and then 2 weeks later, he gave me an opportunity to JV a deal with him and find a buyer for him, and I made 10 grand off that deal just from building that relationship with him and giving
Damn.
him the deal for free. So it all comes back to you, you just have to be a good person, and that's one thing I'd recommend people if you get to the end of this video is to go find your buyers first, go find what your buyers are looking for, the pockets that you're buying for, and just reverse your marketing, right? So find what they're looking for and then just reverse your marketing. So that way, if agents ask you what you're looking for, or you go to look on the MLS or you go direct to seller, you know exactly what you're looking for at that point. And it's even easier with land. So with these smaller lots, it's even easier. I call like the one I assigned to the buyer yesterday. They already told me exactly what they're paying for on certain size lots. So I just reversed my marketing, and I found a motivated seller that was wanting to sell for me below what the buyer wants to buy a lot for, and that was it. I knew exactly what I could offer. So that's why I like it with land, but with houses, a lot more factors, right? Because you have repairs, size, area, whatever it might be. But with land, it's like in one area, it's typically one size lot because someone did what I did in the past with what I'm doing with this bigger piece and just entitled it, right? And just built or just made all the same size lots, right? So these infill lots are just what people did in the past from what I'm doing now. So they just entitled old land, and then now these lots have just been sitting here for years. And yeah, so reverse your marketing, find your buyers first, find out what they want, and then from there you know exactly what to go target. Now you just become a marketer and a negotiator, and that's it. All life is in general, whether you're in real estate, credit, whatever it might be, is just marketing and sales. Everything is just marketing and sales. So the easier you can make it for yourself, the easier your life becomes. So
Yeah.
uh, find out what everyone's looking for and go from there.
Damn. That is some sauce, dude. Like I mean, I'm applying just that to my business right now. It's like I'm great at sales. Now I need to learn the marketing side. So yeah, it's just so applicable to everything. Gotcha.
Yeah, marketing and sales, man. That's all any business is marketing and sales.
Yeah.
Uh, that's it. Like you got to think about I don't know if you guys have watched the Jake Paul documentary on Netflix and how hated that guy is, but that guy's a fucking genius. No matter how much someone hates him, I would recommend go watch that documentary and watch how smart he is on marketing and sales. And that's all he is, and that's why he's so popular, and that's why he's making millions of dollars off of everything that he's doing is because he's a genius at marketing. So you become a genius at marketing, then it's just a good business model for whatever you're doing. You're a good marketer, you're gonna have good business.
There you go. Well, dude, hell yeah. Well, I guess well, we're about to wrap it up. Do you want to have anything else to kind of leave off to it?
Nothing, man. Just go out there and take action, dude. That's it. Go out there and take action. Even if you don't know what you're doing, just go take action, man. That's really it. Don't be scared to pick up the phones like you're not gonna die. So
Yeah.
just do it. Go take action, man.
Yeah, and like you said, like just taking the action, you'll potentially network with somebody, open up more opportunities. You might learn some, well, you'll 100% learn something, but also you might fuck up and figure out, okay, I gotta pivot or do something else. So,
Yeah, those mistakes will drive you forward, but if you don't take action, then, opportunity will follow. So, I mean, and same thing with networking. Like, if you don't take action, then, I've created some great relationships. My first mentor was a buyer. Um, One of my good friends ended up being a buyer of mine, and he's provided me opportunity. He's actually trying to um, get me a house right now by taking over someone's mortgage note, and he's gonna just give me the deal. So, and I'm gonna live in there as a personal home, and it's like a 2.5% mortgage rate. So,
oh,
uh,
damn.
yeah, so you never know who you're gonna meet, man, and the opportunity that's gonna come. But just take action, man, and yeah, bro, stay true to yourself.
Here we go, dude. Well, you guys heard it here, dude. Thank you guys for hopping on the live, especially you, Kyle. Thanks for connecting and just dropping hella sauce, dude. Appreciate you, man. Always.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me.
No problem, dude. We'll talk soon. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for hopping on. Talk to you
All
guys
right,
later.
yo.